All right, Shabbat Shalom. This is the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and I'm here with Brother Doug.
Shalom.
We're fellowshipping with family, here in the background, and we're gonna do a video today on a real quick video. This will be a quick video. We want to do a teaching on when did the Messiah die and when did he resurrect, according to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But for now, we just want to give a little foundation. When does the day begin? Does it begin at midnight, Doug? Like we've been taught in America? Midnight?
No.
Midnight sounds like it's in the middle of the progress of
the night.
A night.
In the middle of the evening, in the middle of the night. That's what it sounds like to me. So.
Right. Biblically, the day does not start at 12 o'clock midnight. We're going to show you when it does start. We actually believe it starts at night. All right? At evening, at night, however you want to look at it. So we'll start with Genesis chapter 1.
Okay, and we're going to start at what verse? Where are we going?
We'll start at verse 1.
Verse 1.
In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty. Darkness was on the surface of the deep, and Elohim's spirit was hovering over the surface of the waters. What's the first? Do we see light here yet?
No.
No, we see darkness here. Darkness is here first. Verse 3. Go ahead and read verse 3, Brother Doug.
And Elohim said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
After there was darkness, he said, "Let there be light." So right here in the beginning of Genesis chapter 1, we haven't even gone into the 4th verse. The first 3 verses, you can see that darkness was first and light came second. So he saw that the light was good, and he called the light day. Verse 5, Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So if darkness, don't shake the table. The table's shaking a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Darkness was first. Darkness is called night. Light was created second. Light is called day. So what was first? Day or night? Night. Okay? It doesn't say midnight. It says night. All right? So that's that point. There was morning. Oh, look at how verse 5 ends. Okay? There was evening and there was morning. The first day. The very first day of creation. There was evening, which is the beginning of the nighttime, and there was morning, which is the beginning of the daytime. When the sun comes up, that's morning. Or when the sun is coming up and it's starting to get light, that's morning. Until the sun is fully out, that's all daytime. Nighttime or evening is when the sun goes down, sunset. Okay? So, and then you go through all the verses here.
Okay. Oh God.
Verse 8. There was evening and there was morning the second day. And we keep going. Verse 13. There was morning, there was evening, and there was morning a third day. And you keep scrolling through. Verse 19. There was evening and there was morning a fourth day. And keep on going. 23. There was evening and there was morning a fifth day. It's very consistent. Yahuwah did this on purpose. Where's the next one? We got 23 was the last one for the 5th day. Where's the 6th day? Let's keep scrolling through. Verse 31.
Yep.
There was evening and there was morning a 6th day. Okay. And why doesn't it say there was evening and morning the 7th day? Because that's the day he rested, and it's a Shabbat. He calls it the Sabbath day.
Yeah,
okay.
Right here, chapter 2, verse 2. And Elohim finished on the 6th day his work which he made, and he ceased on the 7th day from all his works which he made. So obviously he's resting on the 7th day, so there doesn't need to be a division between night and day because he's resting.
All right. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23. This one seals the deal for me. I love this one. Leviticus chapter 23.
But my baby, look at how sad she is.
Let's go to the atonement passage, which is starting at verse 26. 26 to 32. So go ahead, Brother Doug. Go ahead and read
And
that.
Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Also on the 10th day of this 7th month is a day of atonement. It shall be a set-apart gathering to you, and you shall humble your souls and offer a whole burnt offering to Yahuwah.
Okay, hold on. First of all, the Day of Atonement is on the 10th day of the 7th month. That is very important. You got to catch that first. Atonement is on the 10th day. This table keeps shaking. I'm so sorry, guys. It's a little... 10th day of the 7th month is the Day of Atonement. That's the Day of Atonement, okay? The 10th day. Day 10. Let's keep going. Verse 28. Go ahead, Doug.
Also on the 10th day of this 7th month is a day of atonement. It shall be a set-apart gathering to you. You shall humble your souls and offer a whole burnt offering to Yahuwah. Verse 28 says, You shall do no work on this self-same day, for this is a day of atonement for you, to make atonement for you before Yahuwah, your Elohim.
Verse 29.
Every soul that shall not be humbled in that day shall be cut off from among its people.
Verse 30.
And every soul which shall do work on that day, that soul shall be destroyed from among its people. You shall do no manner of work. It is a perpetual statute throughout your generations in all your habitations.
Verse 32.
It shall be a holy Sabbath to you. You shall humble your souls from the 9th day of the month, from evening to evening.
Very good.
You shall keep your Sabbaths.
That last sentence is essential. In the 9th day of the month at evening. We already established that atonement is on the 10th day. It's not on the 9th. It's not on the 11th. However, here in this last verse, it's giving us
definition.
It's giving us so much evidence for why we believe the day starts at night. First of all, atonement is on the 10th day. Not on the 9th day, it's on the 10th day, right?
Yeah.
That's what it said in the first passage there. Verse 24, right? But here in 32, in the 9th day of the month, at evening, from evening unto evening, you shall keep your Sabbath. This is to be treated like a Sabbath day. The Day of Atonement is a day that we're not allowed to work. This is the day that we gather, we fellowship, we remember this day, we memorialize it. Okay.
And this is actually the law for keeping the Sabbath too, because at the end it says, "You shall, from evening to evening, you shall keep your Sabbaths." Not singular, plural. This is all the Sabbaths from evening to evening. So this is supposed to be from evening to evening, every Sabbath, even the weekly Sabbath, evening to evening. So this is...
What do you have plural in what version? The Septuagint.
Yeah.
All right, he has a plural in the Septuagint, which is fine. But definitely, as far as context is concerned, we're talking about the 9th day of what? There is no 9 days to a week. In context, we're talking about the Day of Atonement. And the 9th day at evening is the 10th day. That's context of what we're talking about. So, that's our proof. Okay? I don't think there's need to go to any more scripture. Genesis chapter 1, Leviticus 23. There's a whole bunch of other scriptures we can go through. All the feasts start in the evening. It's amazing. Okay? It's a paradigm shift for those of us brought up in America, you know, where we think the day starts at midnight. Okay? And then there's people out there, you know, I respect people who are doing certain, you know, people coming out of Christianity and learning new, just like I did, just like Doug. We're all searching for truth, okay? But then there's those who are very arrogant, who condemn people and claim that we're keeping traditions and doctrines of men because we're going by sunset, starting a new day. And these are people who hate Jews. They hate anything that has to do with the Jews, okay? Just like you have Israelites who hate everything that has to do with Christianity. So they say everything Christianity taught is false. And that's not true, okay? Same thing with the Jews. Not everything that they teach is false. Some things that they teach is actually true and consistent with Scripture. But they also have their doctrines and traditions of man. This is not a doctrine and traditions of man. This is Scripture. Genesis chapter 1, Leviticus 23. Okay? So those who are going around condemning people and saying that they're keeping a pagan way of keeping the day because we're starting at night, they're bewitched, they're confused, and they're allowing themselves to be sucked up by some Jezebel or Nicolaitan teacher, okay, on YouTube. They're not reading their Bibles. They just have a hatred for a certain group of people, and they're allowing that hatred to really guide their intellect. Their common sense goes out the window. So do not study scripture because you hate a group of people. Study scripture because you love Yahuwah and you love his word. Let that be your focus. Don't study scripture because you're like, oh, I've been lied to in Christianity. Everything I learned in Christianity must be false. So let me try to read scripture. Let me force myself to read scripture and think differently than everything that I've ever learned in Christianity. That's not wise. Read scripture for what it says. Okay? Read it for what it says. Another thing I just want to say real quick before we leave. Night and then day. When we're in our mother's womb, what is there? Darkness. There's darkness. You're not seeing nothing. When you come out and you're born, there's light. Okay? Also, scripture says sorrow may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Nighttime is first, daytime comes second. Bad news, good news. Bad news. I'll do some spiritual understanding of this. Right now, we're living in the age of darkness. This is the age of sin. Okay, and we're waiting for the Messiah to come. He is the sun that rises in the morning. Okay, and that's not pagan. That's in the scriptures. Okay, he's gonna come and he's gonna bring light to the. He is the light of the earth, right? Scripture says he is the light of the world. So when he comes back, he's going to make all the wrong things right. So we're going to go from darkness to light when he returns and saves his people. So darkness is first, light is second. There's so many examples that goes with that. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Brother Doug.
I think that's more than enough. And I just want to say, just read the scriptures literally. Please take them literally. Don't put any exegesis into the scriptures, please. Just don't put insertions in there. What it says is what it says. Yeah. Yahuwah didn't say, okay, I'm going to have men write my words on there for men to interpret for themselves what they want to interpret. No. These are his words. Take it for what it says.
Yeah. It's very important to read scripture literally for what it's saying, unless it's saying that what was said is metaphor or simile.
And it will warn you. So Yahushua warns people. You look in the Gospels everywhere. He's like, he who has ears to hear this parable or hear this story I'm about to tell you. Revelations, the angel tells John, this is what a beast means. Same thing with the book of Daniel. It tells you when it's going to be a metaphor. You don't have to be selective literalist. That's the worst thing you can be, is choosing when you want to be literal.
And don't be intimidated by these YouTubers. Don't be intimidated by teachers in Christianity, and don't be intimidated by rabbis. You don't need to have a degree in theology. You don't need a degree in religion to learn the scriptures. All you need is a brain that works, and eyes that can see, and ears that can hear, and a humbled heart, okay, willing to be taught. All you got to do is get in the book. Okay, don't be intimidated. It's not that complicated. Shalom.